This is Jane. Jane is from the United States. She is also a teacher. Let's learn a little bit more about how Jane got from here to here. As a little girl, Jane loved school. It was a fun place where she learned about important people like George Washington, read books about adventures and mysteries, and took school trips to places like the fire station. In Show and Tell, Jane shared about her life, or more specifically, her dog, and she participated in sports and drama. She even learned to play the flute. Jane's school experience taught her to be an individual, to be independent, self-sufficient, and creative. She learned to respect others by waiting her turn, and that she would be respected for careful, thoughtful answers. She earned stickers for good behavior and was taught to dream about who she might be and what she could do with her life someday when she left home and set out on her own at age 18. Her favorite elementary school teacher, Miss White, used to tell Jane, if you just put your mind to it, you can be whatever you want to be. Jane put her mind to it. And after junior high, high school, and college, she became exactly what she wanted to be: a teacher. Now Jane is an excellent teacher. She teaches kids about important people like Abraham Lincoln, reads her students books about adventures and mysteries, takes her pupils on school trips to places like the state capitol. She listens to her students tell her about their lives through Show and Tell, and gives them projects that teach them to be respectful individuals, to be independent, self-sufficient, and to dream about the future. Every year, Jane tells her students that if they put their minds to it, they can be whatever they want to be. This is Aya. Aya is from the Arab world. She is also a teacher. Let's learn a little bit more about how Aya got from here to here. As a little girl, Aya did well in school. It was a challenging place where she learned about important people like Khalid bin Walid. She was taught the importance of succeeding in math and science, and she memorized a lot of information so she could give the teacher the right answer. Aya spent long hours studying because she knew a high score on the national test would make her whole family proud. She also knew that a high score, along with knowing the right people, might open the door for her to fulfill her parents' dream that she would become a doctor. Aya's school experience taught her to put her family first, to be hardworking, to get things right, and to avoid mistakes at all cost. She learned to show respect by not criticizing important people, and that she would be respected if she dressed modestly. Her teachers yelled when they were serious and reminded her that bad behavior embarrassed herself and her family. She discovered that to be heard, she needed to speak loudly and passionately. And she understood that education could lead to a good job that would honor her family, who she would live with or near her whole life. Aya's favorite teacher, Mr. Safadi, taught her to work hard because it is difficult to get a job, and her husband's salary might not be enough to support their family. No, their whole family. Although Aya did well on the national test, she didn't have the right connections to get into the medical track at university. Her parents were a little disappointed that she would never be a doctor, but she finished university with high marks and became an excellent teacher. Every year, Aya tells her students to work hard, honor their families, and pursue education in order to get a respectable job. As you can see, Jane and Aya have been raised with different cultural values and assumptions about education. Jane's experiences and training set the foundation for her education worldview. And Aya's training and experiences laid a different foundation for her education worldview. As a result, Jane and Aya have very different ideas about what makes a good education. Now, what would happen if Jane and Aya switched places? They'd need to figure out how to use their backgrounds and experiences in a place with different classroom cultures, student learning styles, educational values, and educational assumptions about the purpose of education. They'd also need to consider how much should they conform to the new cultural values and assumptions about education, and how much should they try to change their school's values and assumptions. They'd have to carefully consider what really makes an education good. They'd also have to discover how they could thrive in their new educational contexts. Well, what do you think? What advice would you give to Jane and Aya?